to the Spicy Booknook, where we discuss all of our favorite and not so favorite dark and dirty book series. We're your hosts, Aj
and Tay. So without further ado, let's get into it. Today we will be reviewing Compulsive, Book 1 in the Liar Duet. Please be aware that there will be spoilers and explicit content for mature audiences only. There were no trigger warnings for this book.
Alrighty. So what do you rate this one?
The initial impression that I thought this book was, I was told it was a dark romance by the author. So I would say for that aspect, I would say about a 3.7. But if you take away the fact that I was told that beforehand, I would say about a 3.9 or 4.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would say like a 3.7.
Yeah. And honestly, I contribute that to the whole knowing beforehand that it was supposed to be considered a dark romance because I would not technically consider this a dark romance. I would definitely say it was taboo, but I don't think it was dark by any means. I mean, I guess dark, but not like dark in a
Like,
sexual sense.
yeah, like I think our main character went through some shit, but I think we're used to reading, you know,
Sexual shit.
the dark romances. And so yeah, I think it was dark in a sense of like her past. She went through some shit, but I didn't see it as being, we be nasty. So
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm nasty. So for like a spicy book, I would rate this like one spicy pepper. I don't think it had a lot of spice. It had some spice, but not anything crazy on the, on the spice scale.
I would say like one pepper.
Yeah.
I would give it one little spiced pepper. So what did you
Um,
think of the story?
I wanted to know why she was such a liar. Um, And so, like, I really felt like, okay, Gray is just lying to everyone she runs into for no reason. And I'm like, girl, you're in therapy too. And obviously, you're not paying attention or trying to open up because, baby, why are you still lying to everyone?
Yeah, for real. I agree. So a short synopsis of this is pretty much we have our main character, Gray, and she's a compulsive liar. She's been through some shit in her past and she's trying to work through it. She has a therapist, but the therapist has some shit going on in her life and has to leave. And so, in turn, she's telling Grace she needs to find a new therapist. Um, and that's when we're introduced to Daniel. Him and Gray have like an attraction to each other. She really likes him. Like from the beginning, she right away when she meets him and they're in passing, she's like, this is about to be my therapist. Like she it's like unhealthy because she wants him as a therapist, but also like, wants him in other
Like,
ways too.
sexually.
Yeah. So it just like that's pretty much like where it goes. And so we're just kind of following her try to navigate having this man as a therapist and also being like so drawn to him.
And I mean, how did you feel about Daniel?
I don't know. I really
He
don't.
was bland to me.
I was like, it wasn't. I don't know. I just felt like there was no like spark about him. Like he was just kind of like a basic man.
Yeah, like
Like
he was a good man,
yeah,
you know?
but he didn't have no spark to him.
Yeah,
And
like
so
he
I guess
wasn't.
that's where like when Gray was like, really trying to pursue him, like I was just like, where is this coming from? I'm like, this is giving like trauma as far as he's the first person to see you, but also like
Yeah.
he's your therapist though, so that's his job. Like, so it wasn't, I don't know. That's where I was like, ma'am, I'm like, I get you're falling for him because you feel like, oh my God, he's the first person to like see me for who I am. But I'm like, that's his job. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, if you guys were to meet under different circumstances, if that would be the case.
And see, that's what I felt like throughout the book. I felt like, okay, you're only falling for him because he's doing his job, which is so common because, like, someone's helping you out and somebody's, caring about your feelings and actually listening to them when you feel like nobody has actually had the chance to do that, or you never felt comfortable enough to open up to somebody like that. And then you find this person and you're like, yeah, they're doing everything I love. And now I've fallen for them. That's super common. So I get like the patient like having a crush on her therapist and like, feeling, emotional about their connection. And so I got why she had that attraction to him. But outside of therapy, if they would have met at the grocery store or they would have met somewhere else, I don't think she would have been like all over him like that. Like
I
she would have lied
definitely
to him and went on her way.
I I agree. I think he just would have been another just another lie. Like I don't see it going anywhere like outside of that. Like I honestly wanted her to be with Nathan
Me too. And I felt like her and
because
Nathan could have had so much more of a connection because Nathan was like a really good friend and kind of like understood she was a little psycho.
and they
And
already
like,
had that connection because they didn't been through shit
yeah,
together. So it's like to me, I just felt like that made more sense to me. Like I was like, you're more compatible with Nathan. Like, yeah, sure. I'm sure you guys probably trauma bonded over a lot of things, but it seemed like he was genuinely like, I'm trying to get my life together, but I'm also trying to make sure you get your life together in the same instance, like it wasn't like, okay, I'm getting my life together, so I'm leaving you behind type deal. Like he was very, always there for her. And so that's why she's like telling Daniel, like, you're the only one that like sees me for me. And I'm like, what about Nathan?
well, yeah,
Like
I
he
was
been
gonna say, what
rocking with you.
about Nathan?
Like I'm like, he been rocking with you. What do you mean? So that was like, I don't know. I felt some type of way about that because I was like, this not Nathan being a good man and like wanting to be with you, and you're just like, no, I think I want my therapist who's trying not to want me because he doesn't want to be a bad guy and take advantage of me, but I kind of want him to.
And see, that's the thing. Like, I felt like that little taboo thing was kind of crazy because, I mean, we've read some crazy taboo stuff, and so like, I don't think it was up on that level of like,
Yeah.
that. I feel like it was just taboo because it's like, as a therapist, you know damn well you cannot touch a client. You know damn well you can't even look their way. So
And
like,
then, like, after that night at the bar when he takes her to his house,
yeah, I
I'm
was like,
like,
no.
I'm like, sir. And then I think it just was like you take her to your house, but then you're still like, no, like trying to be good guy. And it's like, sir, if you take this woman to your house and she's like sexually attracted to you, like obviously in her mind, she's thinking like, oh,
You're telling me you're not sexually attracted to her and you taking her to your house? Like, come on. Like, you knew something was going to go down.
yeah, yeah. I was like, I don't really know how I feel about Daniel. Like,
And see, I feel like Daniel was really like, I feel like the second book might explain more of Daniel and who he is. And so like that might be interesting to know like why he is that way, but in my opinion, like Daniel has probably been through much more trauma than we can think of because one, he's a therapist and everybody who's a therapist has probably been through something to make them want to help other people. So like I automatically feel like you had a little bit of trauma, but he shows so many weird emotions that I feel like he probably is just going through his own shit. And like he just as much as he tells Gray that she needs to be alone, like I feel like he needs to be alone. You know what I mean?
and then when you read the epilogue and he's like saying like, oh, this can't happen again,
Again,
then I was like triggered because I was like, okay, so clearly like this ain't a one time because then he's like, oh, this can't happen again, but she's not Melissa. So I'm like, who the fuck is Melissa? And clearly this is just you. You just are falling in love with your clients. So
it's
in
because he
my
be
mind,
drawing pictures of him.
so I'm like, I just think maybe you need to be in a different career field because like you can't be the damn doctor falling in love with all your fucking clients. Like you
And
supposed to be helping these people.
like this is not something that you're supposed to be doing. Like you literally are supposed to be, minding your motherfucking business and just helping people out, and you're out here falling in love, and you're talking about again how many times before? Because I don't think it was just Melissa. Like I feel like you have a pattern.
I feel like, yeah, it was, I don't know. I just didn't get that vibe, like, to where I was like, when I read, I normally expect for the man to where I'm like, this my book boyfriend.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
like
that's my boyfriend.
he went through, a hardship, and like even before that though, like he was showing signs that he was just stressed, and like a
I
stressed
think,
boyfriend as a book boyfriend is not super
like, I
attractive.
think we're used to, like, a strong male character,
Hmm.
and he was not giving, like, strong male character. Like,
Yeah,
he was giving someone that's kind of like, a little bit, like, he just wasn't,
he was
he didn't,
very weak-minded.
he didn't have big dick energy. He did
You're
not have
right.
it. He did not have BDE at all. Like, I was not like, oh, like, okay, I like him. No, I just didn't feel that for him. I felt like he was just like, it felt like he was kind of a weaker man.
It's
And
it's
uh,
crazy because like the way I pictured him, like I just didn't picture anybody who was like, you know, super strong, or, someone who could save me. Like I felt like he was just like a regular dude. And I'm like, for a book boyfriend, I don't want a regular dude. Like you have to be above and beyond for me.
I maybe that's it. Is that he was just like a regular guy.
And for
That could,
they have to be beating our ass. Like we love a book like that. Like we love a crazy ass
I
book.
love a tie me up, throw me around. Okay, I love a throw me around, tie me up.
And
Yeah,
like they had a little spice, like, but I feel like the sex scenes in this book weren't like spelled out. Like I don't think there was one pussy in this book. Like I don't think dick was said at all in this book. So
it
like
was very toned down. Like, it was
it was
toned down,
very toned down.
and I think that's the thing. I'm like, I think this was like a really good book for people who really like enjoy, like, super super well written, like, character development, where we're getting to know the
Yes.
characters and we're going through like everyone's story, and it's just kind of slow in the beginning until we get to the end. So if, like, you're really into like a slow burn, I would definitely recommend this, because it was exactly that. It was a slow burn. Like, you're getting to know all the characters and their stories and stuff. I think we're just kind of used to books that are like bam, 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 bam. Like, for,
Yeah.
like shit's just popping off as soon as you open
Like
the
my
book.
husband died and I
My
killed him.
husband dead and I fucked his brother. Boom. Like, that's like that. And so this book, yeah, I think that's kind of, I was like, I think this is honestly probably one of the first slow burns that I've read.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like it was a very well written book. Like I feel like it was very clear. I feel like the descriptions were very like on point. You could build the characters in your head for sure.
Yeah, and
I
even though
just
there
felt
were
like
so many characters, it was like they were so well written to where, like, you weren't confused on, like, oh shit, I don't know who's who. It's like, I feel like she explained in detail, like, who everyone was, so you had like a clear understanding of who everyone was. Yeah, and it definitely, yeah. I would say, as far as spice goes, like, if you're a spicy reader, this isn't like a spicy book. So I
yes,
don't want to
definitely.
mislead anybody. It's not a
Yes.
spicy book if that's like what you're going for. But if you are into, like, yes, like a good slow burn where it's going to build up the characters and everything and have you kind of wondering, because of course, like, at first when you're reading, you're like, why is this girl a compulsive liar? Like, why does she just keep lying? Like, that was in the beginning. I'm like, damn, why are you just lying? You just lie so damn much.
Like,
Like,
girl, you telling all the lies.
yeah, so I definitely think this one definitely good if you're someone who isn't really like expecting there to be action in every, like, part of the book.
Yeah, because you definitely had to take your time with this book. It was a book that, just enjoy it because it's a good story. It's
Definitely.
just not spicy. And,
Yeah,
we spicy girls.
we just some hoes. Exactly. That's all. And so, like, in my mind, I was like, when she was falling in love with her therapist, I was like, ooh, he gonna give BDE. We about to be falling in love with the therapist. And then I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was just like, I don't really like Daniel.
I don't really know.
I'm telling you, I was like, girl, go be with Nathan. And like, I feel like maybe it's just because she built Nathan's personality up more. Like, it seemed like Nathan had more of a personality. Like,
And that's exactly what
right?
it
Is
was.
that because I'm like, Daniel seemed kind of dry, just like a little bit timid, a little bit like afraid to express his emotions, like just kind of, timid. And then Nathan seemed like he had a lot more personality. Like, so maybe that's what it was, where I was like, I'm like, Daniel's dry. Go be with Nathan.
That's true. That's very true. I liked Nathan a lot more. I was really prepared for Nathan and
And then when his
to
brother
be.
came in, I was like, ooh, who's the brother?
Yeah, I think we're just some hoes. Like I was ready for the threesomes and the
That's
foursomes and all of
I
that good stuff.
was like,
But
who's
like,
the brother? Where you come from?
yeah, we just be doing the most.
And it
That's
wasn't
what I'm
that.
coming to the conclusion.
She honestly just wanted Daniel. And that's fine. I love that for her, but not for me. Because I was like, girl. Yeah. So if you guys are really into slow burns, I would definitely recommend this one. I just am more of a wham 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 spicy action, you know, type of girl.
Yeah, dick in the ear type of girl. Apparently, just like it all.
Stop. So wild. So yeah, I definitely would recommend it if you are a slow burn girly. I just am not a slow burn girly, but it still was a good book and a good story, and the characters were good, um, and it's super descriptive. Like you could literally like picture everything in your head. So
It is definitely worth the read if that's your type of book.
agree. Thank you guys for listening and
Yes,
sending in all the requests. We're trying to get through them, but we do appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening every week. So thank you.
yes. Thank you.
Thank you guys for supporting us. And
Love
we will
you.
see you next episode.
Bye.